Let's just get settled and try and bring your mind to the same place your body is. So if you've been busy running around today, many things happening, just try and settle your mind and just relax. And if your feet are down on the ground, try and have them in a parallel position, maybe a little cushion underneath, and maybe something underneath your sit bones, something under your knees if you're in the regular cross-legged position, if your knees are tight. Hello Alex, welcome. And welcome Barbara, nice to see you. Hands in the meditation mudra, and imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light, sort of stretching from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. You can imagine your head is reaching towards the ceiling. Head is slightly tipped forward, the eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. And relax the jaw. And just bring your awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead and the eyes and the nose and the area around the mouth. And bring your attention to the back of the head and relax the scalp there. And the ears. And the inner ear and your temples. And relax the base of the skull, the occipital bone, and the neck, and the shoulders, the upper thoracic. And relax the throat and the chest and the belly and your limbs, and the hands and fingers and feet and toes. And if you tend to hold tension in your hands, just be aware and try and keep them relaxed. Or if you have tension in your feet, just try and keep them relaxed. So just bring our attention to the breath and notice the sensation of the cool air as you're breathing in, slightly warmer air as you're breathing out. And there may be some sounds in your environment. So for those of us here in the Northern Hemisphere, there may be the sound of a heater kicking in. It might be traffic. If you're in Australia, there might be the sound of a fan or an air conditioner. But just try not to have the mind travel to that sound. Just allow the sound to exist on its own. This is part of your environment. And then if you have some thoughts arising, just allow them to arise, to abide. And try not to engage with them, and then they'll just fall away. Try not to follow a story. Bring the mind back to the breath. And let's bring to mind all the people of our life, the ones we love, who take care of us, who offer us their strength, sometimes at their own expense. We care for them and bring to mind the ones perhaps who wouldn't do that for us, who maybe find us irritating, who we find irritating. We usually label them enemy, and then there's the ones who we're completely indifferent to. Just remember, they're all the same. They're all equal. They're all just exactly like us in their wish to be happy, not ever being able to find true happiness, their wish to be free from suffering, and constantly encountering it. And they're all equal. They're equal just like us. They're exactly the same as us in having this unbelievable capacity for enlightenment. This pure, clear stuff. This is who we really are, who we've always been. So all this kind of delusions that we have layered on top, this is kind of dirt that we can get rid of. And this is what we're doing tonight. This purification practice. Pulling out the weeds, doing a bit of gardening, clearing away the dirt so we can get in touch with who we really are. So just think we're going to do this meditation tonight for all the people of our life, for all the sentient beings, and for ourselves as we move towards our enlightenment. So just to remember, there is no negativity that cannot be purified. This is a psychological process we're engaging in. And we're doing this purification practice in the context of the 4 opponent powers. So the first of these is the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, perhaps in all of our past lives. We've harmed people. We don't remember. And think of specific actions of your body and your speech. Maybe something happened today at work. Maybe you misinterpreted something and then you just reacted. And the reason to regret is based on the logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. Having harmed others, we will necessarily experience suffering in the future, given that we understand very clearly how uncomfortable suffering is. We don't really want to invite any more in. So logically we want to pull out these karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And then we regret our delusions, all the anger and attachment and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and think, I'm sick of this suffering. So now who can I turn to? What can I do about it? So here we come to the power of reliance. And it's got 2 little sections. The first of this is refuge. So we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need the Buddha to forgive us. We purify ourselves by relying upon his methods. So imagine Guru Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. Maybe a couple of inches above the crown of your head. And you can also imagine this is the mind of your Lama, your teacher, your trusted mentor, manifesting in this form for your benefit. It just makes it more personal for you. And he is made of radiant, blissful white light. He's sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon disk. And he has this beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and for all the people of your life. He's not discriminating. He doesn't like one person better than another. He just accepts you exactly as you are, without judgment. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. And he's wearing the 5-pointed crown embedded with jewels. And he's wearing jewelry in his ears and around his neck and his wrists and his arms and his waist and on his feet. And he is surrounded by 2 auras, one around his head and one around his body. And he's wearing these celestial scarves, silken scarves in the Royal Indian style. And this is all made of light. This is all light. This light body above the crown of your head. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these 2. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I am enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So the next little section is developing compassion. And so we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us. So think particularly of people that you have harmed recently, with your body, with your speech, any sentient being, maybe you squashed an ant. And try and develop a sense of compassion for them. And this is a wish for them to be free from suffering. And then maybe a little bit more difficult, the people who have harmed you. Because of the harm that they've caused you, they're going to necessarily experience suffering in the future. So for this reason, we want to develop compassion for them. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of remedy, and this is the medicine, taking the medicine, doing the practice of purification. So we start with the purification of the body, and imagine Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose or a shower head or from a waterfall, very forcefully from his heart. It arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until eventually it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space. Not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sidam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sidam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sidam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sidam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sidam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sidam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sidam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there is no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And so the next is a purification of the speech. So imagine now Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends nectar, powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and again forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body. except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and it kind of quite strongly overflows but disappears into space. So as I've been saying, Lama Rinpoche says it can be as forceful as if the wind blows a hat off your head. So just imagine like that, this kind of powerful nectar, and it's purifying all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and the lying and talking badly about others behind their backs. And all of this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dura Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dura Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dura Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dura Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dura Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dura Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dura Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Excuse me. Again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine that it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And the next is a purification of the mind. And imagine Guru Vajrasattva now very compassionately, very happily, sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra. And this kind of arcs around and enters your crown chakra and fills your entire being. And it's the same as when you walk into a room and when you switch on a light, it instantly dispels the darkness in the room, doesn't it? So it's the same way here. As soon as the light hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all our delusions, our attachment, neediness and anger and violence and depression and resentment and jealousy and bitterness and grudges, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left, as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dura Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dura Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering, and the cause of why we harm others within our body and our speech, are totally purified, gone. And think now, there is no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So the next is a purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. So imagine this time Guru Vajrasattva sending light and nectar, and you can visualize this, or imagine the previous visualizations of the body, speech and mind. Or else you can imagine light and nectar just flowing into you from Guru Vajrasattva's heart. And it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sidam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sidam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me siddham shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dura meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me Siddham shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva aham pe. So now feel completely purified. Not one atom of negativity is left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So the fourth step is the power of resolve, and this is a really crucial step in the purification process, and this is making a determination, a decision to try to not harm. It's not ever going to be again, but we're working on it slowly, slowly. We will get to that place where we no longer harm others. But we've got all these habits, we're human, and we make mistakes. So we just, little by little, step by step. And so, first of all, for those people who've been doing this a while, maybe just reflect on the progress that you've been making and pat yourself on the back and rejoice at your achievements, rejoice in the effort you're making. That's a good start. It's kind of inspiring and a little bit encouraging. And then maybe think if there's something that you are particularly challenged by, maybe something to do with the speech. Maybe make a determination to try and focus on that one a little bit more. It can be for 30 seconds, refrain from talking about so-and-so, or 5 minutes, or 8 hours while you're sleeping overnight. So just think of something to work on between tonight and tomorrow when we meet again. It doesn't have to be all day, every day, but just every now and then during the day, just remember, oh, that's right, I'm not biting my nails today. And so this determination to try to refrain from things is what gives us the courage to change. So Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind. He melts into white light. He just kind of absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call this union oneness. So next, Lama Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a little while. You can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And perhaps the way things appear to you may not necessarily be the way they in fact exist. Okay, so let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created this evening by doing this purification to all living beings, thinking, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And the long life prayers for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honouring the three jewels, saviour of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe Cherub, beloved teacher leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of a graduated path. You are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. And there we are, gone like a dream yet again. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
So
Venerable
lovely
Katy.
seeing you all. Thanks a lot. Sleep well. Have a lovely day. Jay, you're in Australia. So